Hi folks, the Filipina P here. And just because you think you've found a great relationship with a Filipina, whether it's online or in person, whether it's brand new or several years old, you can never feel too safe because around every corner, there's probably someone who just loves to see your relationship hit the rocks and might even try to torpedo it. But who would do such a thing? Well, here in the Philippines, there could be a small army of backstabbers right in your very midst, just waiting for their chance to be the one to plunge a knife into your love life. To your face, they're all smiles. But when you're not looking, they're planning to dismantle your happiness. So who are these people? And what do they want? And why won't they just leave you alone? Well, much of the time, it's the people you'd least expect. So if you're involved with a Filipina, you should probably watch this video because I'm about to pull the mask off and reveal the relationship assassins. Now, for those of you that might be thinking it's exactly the same way in the West, that people there try to break you up too, let me assure you that Filipinos take the role of relationship assassin very seriously to a whole new quantum level. And just about anybody who's lived in both places can back me up on that. One of the reasons it's so different here is because we're not as individualistic and independent as some folks are. And people here in our day-to-day lives have a lot more power to influence and control us, which I'll explain in just a minute. Whereas you might tell someone who's messing with your personal life just to bat out under threat of a serious ass-kicking, we Filipinos often have to do a delicate dance around these people and accommodate them in ways that you would never accept. So who are these people who seem so desperate to stick a pin in your happiness bubble? Well, I hate to say it, but the list of people who won't try to break you up is probably shorter. In fact, the only people you can mostly trust not to ruin things for you are complete strangers. So it's best to keep your eye on everyone else. Friends, neighbors, bosses, colleagues, exes, coworkers, classmates, and even your own family will often be working against you for various reasons. But the most common cause is pure jealousy. Most of you are familiar with the concept of crab mentality, and I even made a video on it about a year ago. It's a very sad and toxic attitude that prevents people from ever making their situations better. And even though it's found in other cultures as well, Filipinos have perfected it. It's called crab mentality because when one of us tries to improve our lives and escape from the fisherman's bucket, all the other crabs pull us back down again so that we can all live in misery while waiting for our inevitable death, ensuring that no one escapes the pot of boiling water that is our lives. One way to do that is to target any happy relationship you come across, because a successful partnership is one of the most enjoyable things in our lives. So by destroying it, you can pull someone back down into the bucket of emotional hell. And if you can work it so that you steal their partner in the process, you can actually pull yourself out of the bucket while pulling someone else back in, which is considered an even fancier move that gets you extra style points for nastiness. And it goes on here day after day. Now you might think the people closest to you want to see you flourish and be happy, but in the Philippines, think again. As I said earlier, it's about more than just jealousy. So let's take a look at all your potential enemies and the reasons why they do what they do. If you're dating a Filipina who's employed, there's a good chance it's a pretty low-paying job. And once you reach the stage where you want to live together, some foreigners think the super low pay she's getting just isn't worth it, and they urge them to quit so they can spend more time together. But once word of that plan reaches your office mates, the pressure begins. It's pretty easy to predict who's gonna do what, and it's all about self-interest. Her boss may become angry at the prospect of having to train someone new, and he'll start trying to convince her that foreigners are no good losers that are unreliable, and if she chooses you over her job, she's gonna regret it later when you dump her. The co-workers will be jealous that your girlfriend found a way off the hamster wheel, and they'll agree with the boss. telling her that you'll probably leave her once you find a cute, young Filipina. Anything to play on her insecurities and make her second guess her decision to be with you. As for her friends and neighbors, it'll be the same thing. Only this time, their efforts will be accompanied by wild chismes as the rumor mill starts working overtime. Stories will start circulating throughout the barangay about how her friends have seen you leaving the local hotel with several different Filipinas, and how your poor girlfriend just has no idea what a dishonest drunken philanderer you are. All total lies, of course, but who cares? Whatever works, right? And it's highly probable that the opposite set of rumors will make their way to your ears as her friends try to anonymously warn you what a cheater your girlfriend is. Even her best friend might approach you on the side to tell you how there are a lot of things you just don't know about your girl, like the fact that she's still seeing other guys, and you really should confront her about it. So why do they do this? Well, most of it is just jealousy. Her friends don't want her to have a better life than they have, and her neighbors don't want her to have a bigger house than they have. You might think these are just rare examples of high school level nonsense, but this kind of stuff really does go on here. When I was building the house for my mom, the neighbors got so jealous that someone in our barangay would dare to have their own house, that they started spreading rumors about her, saying that she thought she was too good for everyone, in an attempt to isolate her. You know what, guys? My mother is a gentle soul that doesn't have a mean bone in her body, but that doesn't matter. Anything to cause trouble and harm her relationships within the community. We Filipinos know it's coming and we can predict it. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the Filipina you're dating seems less than eager to spread the good news about your relationship to her friends? You know she's proud to be seen with you, so you assume she'd want to shout the good news from the rooftops. But instead, she won't even change her Facebook status to show she's in a relationship. Well, now you know why. It's because she knows what's gonna happen as soon as the people around her become aware that she's dating a foreigner. You're the prize. She knows it. And she's not looking forward to all the upcoming assassination attempts that are sure to follow. When it comes to the people who know her the best and supposedly love her the most, her family, things don't get any better for your Filipina, or for you either. This might surprise you, but I can't even count all the examples of sisters backstabbing their own sisters and trying to steal each other's man. Now, what would you think if your girlfriend's cute little sister appeared in your bedroom wearing a bath towel that, oops, suddenly dropped to the floor, and she made no attempt to pick it up? Your first thought might be that this was a setup, and your girlfriend was just testing to see how you'd react. But I've got news for you. 95% of the time, you're being hit on by a family member. If she can catch you at a weak moment, she knows she's got a good shot at scooping you up. Your girlfriend will surely dump you, and the sister will be happy to take her place. This degree of backstabbing doesn't happen every day, but it happens more than you might expect. But the real threat to your relationship, the one that can be far more devastating than all the others combined, is the head of the family yakuza, her mom. In most every case, if her mom doesn't like you, you're dead in the water. The yakuza boss can put a hit out on your relationship with just a few choice words. And although it might not mean you're instantly doomed, you'll never have the family support. Why is mom so powerful? Well, if you're asking that question, then you're probably not familiar with how a Filipino family works. The mom is often the unquestioned boss, and the kids here are programmed to listen to their parents. No talking back, no arguments. Just do as you're told. And that goes double for the daughters. And there's a good chance that your girlfriend or wife is still running that programming. In fact, a lot of guys say that a Filipina is more influenced by her mom than her husband, even after years of marriage. The stereotypical Western mother-in-law is nothing compared to a Filipina mother-in-law who's a seasoned pro at using things like guilt, shame, and the law of parental authority to get her way. But why should you fear this? Because if her mom doesn't like what you represent for the future of the family, she's got the tools to steer her daughter away from you, even if you've already been dating for a long time or living together. A Western mom might take her daughter's happiness into account or the daughter's desires and wishes, but that's far less common in this part of the world. Of course, there are plenty of exceptions, but for some Filipino moms, concepts like love are completely useless, and the only thing that matters is doing whatever's best for the family, which usually means backing the guy that shows the most willingness to provide financial support. Now, I'm not saying to kiss her mom's butt. Not at all. I'm just doing my best to warn you about what to expect. Things can be different here in the Philippines, and it's my job to show you how. Well, that's it for today. And I bet a lot of guys who have lived here can tell us about your own relationship assassination attempts. So feel free to visit the comment section and let us know what happened. You might just help another guy before he gets terminated. Till next time, folks. Instead of doing something funny today, I've got some good news for you. As of yesterday, these stupid masks are no longer required outdoors anywhere in the Philippines. We've been having to breathe our own breath for over 2 years now, and I'm pleased to say that's finally over with. There are some indoor places where masks are still required, but hopefully they'll be ending soon too. I know the Philippines is still way behind when it comes to easing restrictions, but this is definitely a step in the right direction. And maybe in the near future, we'll get word on new protocols for the unvaxxed. And when that happens, I'll be here to report it for you. And now, the ceremonial burning of the mask. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, and I don't want to see you again, ever. Bye! Bye-bye! If you think about it, I'm kind of like your own personal genie. Every week, I fulfill 2 of your wishes when I bring you magical content about life and culture in the Philippines and explain the differences between East and West. If you appreciate my efforts, all I ask is that you hit the thumbs up button on this video, subscribe to my channel, and tap the notification bell so you can see what I've conjured up next. And if you're really feeling like a generous master, feel free to share this video with friends and visit my Patreon page as well. And now, for that 3rd wish, you have only to ask, and it's my pleasure to make it come true. What did you wish for? Master. I don't think I can do that, and Mrs. Master would not be happy about it.